I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Harama beef.
Peace, 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 peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
What up, everyone?
Peace, Malik.
Yes, sir. Peace, peace.
How you doing, man?
You know what time it is? It's that Sunday school.
You know. Can you give us our Moorish American prayer? Then we gonna get this show on the road.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, and all the prophets before, and the prophets in the flesh. Inshallah and Ashe, peace, peace, peace.
Peace, 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 peace. You know how we do at the BBT, man. We always in high spirits. Always in high spirits because our elevation. And I just have to say it all the time. We're just the upper echelon of the science. That's what you get with us nobles. You get the upper echelon of the science. We're not here for none of the games. A lot of the stuff that you may see, all the nonsense, that's not what we're here for. But we do cast our net out all the time. We always cast our nets out, and it was a good for my noble Malik to see that in the flesh last week when we were having our little lecture and people there, and we try to reach out to people and we get little response. So that's what I'm telling people. I say that's why things are not going forward with a lot of other people, because you have to join something that's real and you have to open up.
Indeed.
Like you have to with this science, and that's the only way you're going to see the realness of it is when you be like, okay, well, let me introduce myself to these brothers. Let me show you what's okay. Well, what about this? What about that? And blah blah blah. Not in a way of, how can I say, trying to prove anyone wrong, but just trying to show that this more science is nothing criminal.
Nope, nothing criminal.
So I just wanted to say that little piece. You got anything, Malik, before we get started? Anything, current events, anything you got going on, or you want to throw something out to the people?
No, I had a decent conversation with a Hebrew Israelite yesterday after coming from getting some training in, and I had coached his kid, and I was looking at the man. I was like, man, he looked familiar, and he was thinking the same thing. But he was sharing his message, doing his part to wake people up, which we all are, universally, unilaterally, trying to wake people up and get them out of that slave mentality, so to speak.
Right.
He's correlating using the Bible to, wake people up. Talking about, basically black, brown, yellow people, and what you call Mexicans, Latinos, and Negroes, all the same people.
Right.
Brought up here on AKA slave ships. To be enslaved is a mental institution. That's why it's called enslaved. But that's a whole nother topic. So I understood what his point was, and we really had a beautiful conversation in front of the young men that he had with him, and it was very beautiful context because we wasn't arguing, we was having a conversation. And other people may look at it, oh, they arguing. The security guard came back there. We was like, nah, we straight, we good. Like ain't nothing going on here, we just having a conversation. So it's just basically a beautiful demonstration because I ran into another brother that was there, and he was having his son was having some issues with the school he was going to. I was like, bring him over to where I'm at. I know a lot of people over there, and we ran into these gentlemen And shouts out to Barack. But we ran into them, and they from the same area. I'm telling him to bring his kid to. And I was like, see, I said I ran into them. I know them from Highlands. I know the whole AD staff. I know the district, my AD at the high school. I know all the football coaches, the PE coaches. I know some of the teachers. I said, so we have his best interest. And anytime he mess up, I'll get a note of it. And, we'll pass it down and we'll move from there to help him out. And he just was showing gratitude. So we're trying to help him get into the school where we at. And that way he can be with people that care about him.
So Malik, so what you telling me is, brother, that you don't let who you are mess with your mission.
No.
See, because I hope people is hearing what my brother is saying. We have conversations with everybody, no matter what their religious background is. What my brother Malik is saying, and I'm digging deep because I'm a digger. I dig real deep. When we have these conversations with different nationalities, it's a beautiful conversation. And a lot of times we're teaching them. But a lot of times when we have these conversations amongst each other, the Muslim, the Christian, the so-called Hebrew Israelite, it's a form of debate. But what Noble Malik is saying, amongst gentlemen, we can agree to disagree.
Right.
We can agree to disagree with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Because as we evolve, I give all my Hebrew brother respect for standing strong.
Right.
Some methods, it was not my tactics because I'm not a street soldier anymore. I'm beyond that. I'm a God now. So I do things, everything I do is calculated. Everything I do is for a mission. I don't do things to make a point. I'm a one-man army. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it. Well, how? Politically. That's when it matters. That's when you change things. Number two, with the religious aspect, for me, remember, I'm a Moor. I have a nationality, I have a race, and I have a status. Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, you have a right of a nationality and a right to claim it. No one will be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. And to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. So no man, no woman, no religious man, not me, can tell Malik who he is. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a slave. I don't have no ancestors of any slaves. My great grandma wasn't no slave. My dad's family wasn't no slave. We own land. So that Deuteronomy stuff, that don't rock to me. I wasn't brought here on no boat, Malik. My ancestors weren't brought here on no boat as no slave from no Africa. So with that whole theory, it's not relevant to me. So when that is pushed, we were brought here on the boat. Come on, man. We educated as scholars, Malik. We studied the one world Tartarians. I'm an American. And so I understand, but I agree to disagree. Like, I know you understand. If there's some people that were brought over here on the boat per se, yeah. Right, Malik?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not in that magnitude, though.
You see? You see what I'm saying, Noble Dantes and Brother Maso? This is this discussion. This is the discussion that we should be able to have amongst the brothers. And some brothers just throw that Bible. And that's not scholarship. Because then when we start dealing with the scholarship, we can start tearing it in pieces. The concept.
You gotta break it down. You gotta prove all things. Hold fast to what is good.
Yes. So that's why for me, as a mapping guide and y'all as mapping guides, our mission is not the religious mission, because when it's like that we're saying it's only for a certain group. We saying we are Americans. We're saying this is for all the misnomer Black people of North America. We're not saying you have to be this, because how? I just broke down the Declaration of Human Rights. I mean, are you listening? You see how things trump things when you understand law where you understand things. Like, I get you, I understand, but that's not going to do nothing for us as a people for liberation. I get that. That's not solidarity. That's still this group, this group, this group, this group, this group. As a people, we got to be bigger than that, and that's where I say it stops for me at the level of understanding. We got to get past that for myself. But I just want to give homage to what Noble Malik was saying, and having that conversation with a brother, from a different standpoint. And I know how hardcore them brothers can be. You know what I mean? With their
I had a
level.
with him some years ago because I coached basketball. His son was on the basketball organization that I was on, and his son actually pointed out the fact that, oh, you heard Coach Hurricanes, huh? I was like, yeah, you said Malik. I remember that. So that's how we kind of brought it together. His son, has said it. So it was a common denominator, and it was just really dope how I'm just telling his brother to bring his son over, and these guys is from that same community, and we was just having a conversation. It was beautiful.
Yeah. It's long. Well, with that being said, man, we were just opening up the floors, man, before I get into teaching. Noble, Dantes, and Marcel, y'all had anything y'all on y'all hearts, or just anything you saw with your spiritual eye or your physical eye, anything? How y'all week been?
Yeah, long. That most so Dantes. Yeah.
Hey, peace nobles, peace sheep. Celebrated my 35th solar return this weekend. And I know that sheep, you celebrated your 30th class reunion back in Flint, class of 1995. So, honors to you and all of your classmates for your travels and your enjoyment over this weekend. And just honors Allah is the greatest. 35 trips around the sun. Just continuing to learn every day, each and every day, just through the things that I experience with life, the different things and the different levels of education, understanding, and just understanding each and every day. It might be a slow pace, it might be a slow grind, and that's okay. As far as being that turtle per se, but just make sure I'm trying to catch everything and just kind of be that example, for family and things, as I continue to grow in the science and understand it, nobles and anybody listening to us, it's not, everything's not going to be great all the time, but if you just make sure, if anything, you're doing the work that you need to, that's necessary, understanding through the silence, the lessons that you must learn about self and just that battle and that journey that we're going through, and just continue to strive. And that's all I would say. And I had to say before I teach it today, Sheep, just honest to you as always.
Honest to you, Noble.
Islam.
Moso here. Moso, you good?
Islam, Nobles. Peace and love. Doing well, Nobles. Just made it back. I'm glad you jumped on live so we can all connect to each other's spirits.
Yes, sir.
And like you were saying, Sheik, I mean, the brothers from the Hebrews, like you said, we all probably in our walks experienced or interacted with those brothers. And, we're just students of the holy books, of the ancient texts, and those brothers, I know they study as well, but there's something missing where they're taking certain things too literal, or they're not understanding analogy, parable, symbology. They're not understanding they're getting lost in translations. So, I mean, it's like we always telling brothers and sisters, to come to these classes because they're very important for you to elevate in your understanding. We're not trying to change anyone or convert or, all that wisdom that you've had before in the past is a house that prepared you for today. And I hope brothers and sisters understand that that's all we all here is to continue to further the knowledge and bounce it off of people, because just studying by yourself, you still need to challenge and question. Like you always say, you should have questions. You can't, if you don't know everything, you should have questions. But Islam.
Islam also. And just gratitude to y'all wisdom, man. Like, that's why I always like to hear from y'all. And even Dante's, like the wisdom. When I say, you know, the wisdom is in us because everything from the creator is already in us. It just needs to be developed in that certain fashion. And like Noble Dantes was saying, what? The grind, the turtle, every day is a lesson. Every day is a lesson. How? If you own it, if you in the right headspace, if you're in the right physical journey, I'm telling you, watch when you lock in, man, to your physical fitness, when you sad and when you mad, when you lock in, especially in that mental, because your mind is already done. As I see your mind already working, it's working and it's going. But when you lock in, when you lock all the way in, man, you're gonna spend so much time in your mental, watch so much stuff that's gonna sprout out. That's why I said it's in us, and everything for you is already in you. That's what this science all about. When I be telling brother, I say, yeah, the science is good. Yeah, we can talk about this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but if we don't understand that power, if we don't understand that auto suggestion, if we don't break it down, in the fashion like it's already happened, we tripping.
Islam.
You know.
Islam.
You know.
Islam.
See, this is what it's about with me. Yeah, the science is great, but see, y'all know what it is with me. It's that mental. When two of them were gathered, there we are. See, they ain't want us to come together. See, I broke down the Black Christian codes. I broke this down. I don't care about that religious stuff. I don't care what religion you are. You're still a Black slave, historically. You see? We're talking about the power of your brain, Dante, is what you got. The words, how you speak it. Come on, I'm your brother. We each other's teachers. Just because that title I have, that ain't nothing. Y'all my teachers too. So I hear the wisdom in you. And your son right next to you getting all this, his daddy now. Look at Allah, how Allah teaching you. And your son getting all this. Come on, man.
Islam.
Man, that gives me hairs.
I asked her, I said, what's your nationality? He said, Moorish American. You know, we have to teach. We have to understand, you know, that the nationality piece to what Sheik and the BBT and others, you know, what we're saying, you know, it's too many people to get everybody understand Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America, nationality and creed and the 5/5 that operated and navigating as Moors, you know, and operating using our brains and all of the powers that we have within us. You know, it takes study, application, and study, and being a part of something like the burning bush. You know, it takes a lot of commitment. Just being a part of the conversations, even if you ain't speaking as much, you need to, you know, because communication is one of the keys. You know, but just some folks, they can't even get over the hump. And, you know, as far as uplifting, you know, they still think they Black, and they, at least anything, they need to know that that's not how to be identifying yourself in general. You know, nationality, what is that? They don't know. They weren't taught that. So, but it take us, you know, in our little walks in life and on our platforms, the Burning Bush, Sheik, individuals like Sheik, and what he's done and what he's been, and what he's studied, and he's been through the fire and gone through the walk and continues to do the work with the support. And we trying to get more support, and we trying to be of support, and that's what we're doing, you know. But the Black thing and the nationality, we just have to understand that one nationality, many cultures. You know, we're not going to touch everybody, but everybody should, if anything, understand that Black stuff. Stop doing that. That's not who we are. We don't represent ourselves like that. If anything, that's not how we identify. We've discovered something through a lot of some ways, and Sheik is one of the main sources due to what his walk and what he's put out there. you know, as far as the word and the gospel that he's presented to his people, you know. And I give Sheik honors, man, and we all really should, for individuals and just examples like that, you know, because that's what we're all striving to be, you know, if anything, you know, understand it. We were here, you know, that Negro, Black, colored, African American thing. Just do the research. When you do the science, to do the research, and you study, come to our classes. He supplies, man. He supplies the knowledge that we didn't get and didn't have access to, for the most part. And that's what we all, as just a community, need to realize. And once you study these things, you be a part of groups and organizations like the Burning Bush Tabernacle, you understand and you get it. And it's not, you're not going to be perfect. It's not perfect. Everything's not going to be great all the time. But the foundation is there, and you understanding the foundation. And that, man, for that, we just give Sheik honors, you know, for just being that mapping guy and giving us that, and for individuals like Noble Drew Ali and the Moore Science Temple, and just, man, study and come to class. And that's really all I got to say. You know, I'm just trying to be an example for myself each and every day of my family, man. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy, but just continue to just be the become and study what you can, man, and just try to make things make sense for you. Ask questions. And that's just what we try to continue to do and be better at every day. Islam.
Gratitude, Dantes, gratitude. But like Noble was saying, man, we really been opening our doors. We've been doing this for a minute. We have a full library. I mean, we have regalia. We sell turbans, fez, all that. More really should be getting with us. Like, really, if we are culture and we are community, somebody have to do it the right way. Some establishment should be the example. And I'm telling you, we the example. And everybody can hold us accountable. We don't have to talk about nothing. We can have a magnanimous temple right now, school, library, and everything. And I do this in real life. I'm telling you, and I show us how we can do this with our own finances. It's no other way. I mean, brother should be reaching out just like the other man reach out to me. I'm telling us, like, I have something for us. And brother should be sharing this with others. It's no ego. It's no pissing contest with me. I mean, if we are great, then why can't we be great together? And if someone has something that's a little bit more, how can I say, illuminated than the other, then we should gravitate to it. It's just like back in the day, if you had certain rappers that didn't make the money they were supposed to make, that they think they're supposed to make. And now these young boys right now, their music might not even be half as good as the olders, but they knew how to take advantage of their likeness. They knew how to take advantage of the popularity. So they making millions. You see what I'm saying? The analogy of that. We can't be acting like that with each other. Because ain't nobody came in this community and hustled me. Ain't nobody said they're finna do this and no funds, no money. I've been doing this as a minister for years. I'm telling y'all what we can do the right way. The right way, family. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not here to do nothing wrong. And if everybody look me up, they can say, yes, this man been on the battlefield for a long time. I done been through all houses. My mother and father, doctors in divinity. Come on, man. Everybody know I've done this in real life, in academia, and still today, as a map and a guide, a brother that everybody can touch. You know? You got to love people. I love my people. My muftis here, they'll tell them, they're like, come on, this is a brotherhood. And everything brothers say they need or they don't have, we have it. Well, all the literature, all the books, all the regalia. We got our own herbal teas. We got our own web design. We work out together. We have a whole plethora of things lined up. That's why I tell people, look at our web pages, check us out. We've been doing this for years. We're getting ready to have our 5th annual Morris Ball in Texas. I mean, people got to, the BBT is right. People got to see it. Like, we real faces. This ain't no whole bunch of bots on here. These real people. All people got to do is look us up and see what we've been doing. I love everybody. Shalom alaikum. Oh, alaikum shalom. Brother mine. But we've been doing this for a long time. And if we're going to study and compare and look up tablets and look up sephirots and look up old manuals and tablets, then come on, man, it's only one science. It's only one map. It's only one guide. Come on. And when it comes to this history, let's get into the teachings, because, you know, today is Sunday. And here at the BBT, we always going to drop some wisdom from a Moorish perspective. Everybody's here to have their comment on here, but please keep it respectful. Because here at the BBT, we are a school. We probably do our aims after this. But if brothers and sisters have purchased our literature, it's all in our literature. A lot of stuff that people may ask, most people be like, oh, if you get the brother literature, everything you probably asking, it'll be answered. Because I gathered and compiled the wisdom. I gathered and compiled the wisdom, you know? You know?
Yep.
You see? So it's no disrespect to none of my brothers. They know that. All people got to do is look and see me. All people got to do is look and see my noble Malik. They know our spirit and who we are as a people. Come on, man. This ain't no fake stuff. This ain't none of that. This ain't none of that. And I'm getting ready to be 48 in January. I could say a lot more. But before I met my muftis, they know I've been on the scene already. Dog checking on my own dime, dog checking, popping on the scene. I could say way more, but I'm not. I'm just keeping it real. And a lot of those people dispersed.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. A lot of these people are dispersed now.
Not willing to go through the fire.
It's just what it is. And we can stand on what? On what it is, because we're not going to get into a religious conversation. We're not going to get on that. You have the right to understand that. You my brother. You my brother. But if we talk about biblical scriptures, and I say, well, we could talk about Jesus, Yahshua, Yahushua, whatever lingo a person want to give. And then I say, well, in a biblical scripture, Simon, they call who? They want to say Niger. They say nigger. I say nigger. So who was that? Who brother was that?
Joshua's brother?
Yeah. Message.
That was his brother.
Checkmate. So I get all that. I get all that. When I talk to my brothers from different cloths that bang hard in that perspective. But I also get the Chaldean and the Canaanite. And so when I get deep in that, they be like, what you mean? I said, man, I'm not going to go there because I think you know what I'm saying. I think a lot of people know what I'm saying. Who are these people that were took over in the continent of Africa by certain people?
Chaldeans.
Hey, yep, that's a whole nother story. So let's get into the wisdom. Let's get into the wisdom. We spoke about a lot of the mathematics, and I broke a lot of symbology down, you know, because I talk in parables a lot of times, but in wisdom, we break it down for a child to understand it. That's why it's so imperative for you to come to class, as Noble Dante said, because you'll be able to reflect and go back to notes and go back to a lot of the teachings that I've done and say, okay, bam, this piece goes with this. All we're doing is adding. We are adding, because we in our Moorish Quran in chapter 5, what we're doing is displaying our tools. In a lot of lower level masonry, they try to say they're workman tools per se, and you see it on their skirt. But here, we hide nothing. Our tassel is not pinned down. We come from love. But I want to be clear, because a lot of people just be making things up on the internet for speaking points or spookism per se. I know a lot of people never been in a Masonic house. I know a lot of people never been in the Moorish Science Temple of America. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. And I know people ain't been in a Masonic house because to be one, you must know one. That's a fact. And most, Malik, we know, fathers that were Masons, a lot of the kids didn't know until a certain part of life. Huh, Malik?
Correct.
We just keep it like that. We just keep it like that. So here at the BBT, what my brothers are saying, nothing is hidden and nothing is secret, but it's sacred. But when we talk about that G in the center, it's the diamond in the rough. Just like that 7. When ground and polished, it becomes a diamond without a blemish. And the God within becomes manifest. This condition is symbolically represented by the Hebrew letters Yod, Hiv, Ve, He within the compass and a square. And to accomplish this, one must master the physical, which may be done scientifically or spiritually. Therefore, brothers, before the polished jewel can appear, there must first be the stone in the rough. You know, on the Boondocks, I am the stone that the builder rejected. Do, 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 do. Now the chief cornerstone, you heard me. Moreover, do not reject the stone because of the G. The G shows the initiate, the path he or she must take. Stay with the science now. Don't get beside yourself. Don't get beside yourself. I'm speaking to you. Accept it as it is found, but seek to learn the laws of workmanship, governing its transformation from an unsightly pebble into a shining gem. I'm talking about you and I. Let's get into science, man. We about to use our compass, man. I love that. Man, these elementary tools. Malik, we used to talk about this, did we? Malik, everybody, all this high science. Man, this is a school master. You was in elementary. You didn't have, what was on your pencil? What was on your pencil?
What was the tools that Jesus was a carpenter because, or Yahshua, however you want to say it, but everybody know what I'm saying. How do you, what were the tools of the carpenter and what were they for?
Malik, I told you, I can go way deep.
Everybody, what were they for?
You know how it's just like when we hear these figures say, that don't make sense. That's just like putting a circle in a square. Then we look at them and say, oh, we know your fed's got to be a dunce hat. Yeah, we know your fed's got to be a dunce hat when you make an idiotic statement like that.
Well, you know, they both have the same degrees.
Just
90, 90 is what? 360, which is the same degrees as a square. If you cut a square in 4, right, as the 4 seasons, right, you cut it in and you open it up, it turns into a what? A square. Circle in the square, like.
But they smart. So,
yeah. That's esoteric and esoteric knowledge. That's what that is.
Man, these baby tools. We using baby tools. So let's keep illumination going. So in the craft of masonry, the G represents, in this context, I'm talking about geometry. So when we talk about geometry, math has what? 4 divisions, which is what? Algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, right?
Yep.
So geometry is the universal law of perfection, the science of which the culture moors is something that we always had, which will always be in the hands of you and I. See, remember, you see the Russians and you see that hat and it looked like a big kinky hair sitting straight up. They copied that from you. No disrespect. So don't be afraid of your kinky hair. You are the descendants of North America. I'm trying to tell you, no matter how no one feels. I love all my Ishmaelites. I love all my Moorish Ishmaelites. I love all my Beta Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. We can't let nobody play us like Crips and Bloods and Pyru. Nah, man. This the clock of destiny. This one nation. They don't hear me. Therefore, the Moorish nation of North America cannot be destroyed. So when I talk about that G, that power, it stands for geometry, or I can say the Jinn. The 7 stands for law. The 7 rungs of the ladder of the 7 Kemetic principles. A lot of times you hear people say hermetic. No, we stay in Kemetic, baby. But I understand, again, the interlaced triangles. When you see those interlaced triangles, when we're talking about that so-called 6-point star, that Turian creator reflected in his creation.
What they call it, the Star of David, right?
Yeah. That's that Trinity of nature. That's the lock.
Yes, as above, so below.
Yeah. See, they try to accredit a lot of stuff. See, I'm going to always reveal wisdom to make you think and be like, yep, I've heard that. See, we attribute a lot of wisdom to the other man that don't look like us because we don't know any better. We don't know any better. But when I illuminate you and I show you that all our teachers taught on them, I already show you that Abdullah, the Ethiopian rabbi, taught Neville Goddard. I already heard people say, oh, Noble Ali learned from Eliseus Levi. No. Or he plagiarized. No, Eliseus Levi wasn't nothing but a what, Malik?
Transcriber.
So the Trinity of man is the key. The Trinity of man is the key, or the unity of man, or the unity. The 6 powers in nature, the 6 planes of consciousness of the evolution, the 6 principles of man. All of the principles are what? Synthesized in the 7th principle. Come on, man. Y'all with me? I know we talking science right now. Right now we in the science.
Well, right out of the Bible.
Yeah, right in your scriptures. You should be able to find it. Thank you, Malik. See, that's why I be saying when brother be like, well, what's that? It's in your Bible. You should be able to find it. Words are synonyms. I can do it. I can hold your hand, be like, well, this is this. This go to this. Oh, you want to see it in Hebrew? Oh, what you want to see it in Aramaic? Oh, what you want to see it in Syriac? Or what you want to see it in Nabatean? Or what? How you want to see it? Where you want to see it at? You want to see it in Vistas? Where you want to see it at? You want to see it in the Mommy Waters tablets? Where you want to see it at? We can go through all that, but I want to jump right down to the M of Islam. When a lot of people talk about that zodiac circle, you know, like Malik just broke down that the 0 zodiac circle. Line.
Wheel.
Yes, sir. You got 333, boom. Then 333, boom. Then 333, boom. Then you know.
Degrees.
Yeah. You see? How can you go with what Malik talking about? We talk about the 7 Kemetic principles. What? The things that you and I should agree on. If you talk about you ain't rocking with the 7 Kemetic principles, then you have no understanding in your hippocampus. Then you are religiously crazy. And I ain't rocking with no religiously crazy people. That ain't my mission to be arguing with nobody about no religion.
Doesn't that line up with your chakra system? Yes.
And in your exhuman of the nation, your ajana. You feel me? Or your penile. You know, in the Bible, your penile.
They look like the acorn.
Come on, man. Talk to him.
Symbolized all over ancient writings and hieroglyphs and even statues.
Talk to him, Malik.
Historically.
Yeah. So the cross
right in plain sight.
It's right in your face. But that crossfire 0 zodiac circle, that's the last principle of Islam, because we broke all of them down before. I just wanted to stay in this last part. That's the mark of the master. See, we reveal all the keys. I hope you're catching the lingo. And signifies that when one has completed the 360 degrees of learning, one level, he must now embark on the first degree of the next. The quarter circle, it denotes, hear what I said for all my scholars and my students of wisdom, my noble thinkers.
Quarter
It
circle
denotes,
roundabout.
come on, noble. It denotes the division of matter into both visible and invisible, animate and inanimate, and organic and inorganic states. See? So now we're talking about the lower half, that is, however, the upper divided half represents spirit divided into the physically visible and invisible, which is your higher planes. You know, Malik always loved that higher. Malik loved that higher plane. That's how we master it. How? Because we know the lower planes. We don't tell you to cut part of your extremity off to master your higher self. No. Why, Malik? Because the pendulum swings which way, Malik? Which way, Malik?
As it does to the right.
Talk to me. You say the pendulum swing which way, Malik?
So the same way to the left as it does to the right. The same way to the right as it does to the left.
Come on, man. We talking about power. See, man, we ain't got time for these little boy games talking about on your knees. Kumbaya. Oh, that means come by here. Come by here and do what? Boy, the kum, the ba, and the ya. Get your lexicon. Stand up and arise. Why? Because you're dealing with scholarship right here. You're dealing with resurrection. We can read now. Our mothers, our fathers, our grandmothers, they may not have knew how to read, but your brother right here. I'm one of them ones. I'm here to tell you. If I wasn't, I wouldn't say it. Like Khalid Muhammad said, I'm a Moor. Got sense enough to know I'm a Moor. If I didn't know I'm a Moor, I wouldn't tell you I was a Moor.
And what's
Y'all better
the
teach
with
me,
this
man.
song? It's 1794. We fell up on a shore.
Come on, man. The master symbol also represents what? The four seasons, the four directions, north, south, east, west, the four quarters or essence of man and woman, the four quarters of the dollar system, the four lunar phases, right?
Mm-hmm.
The four lunar phases. That's the great significance as represented by the fifth principle of Islam. We ain't talking about no al-Islam. Don't get my words twisted. If you don't know what I'm saying, say, well, Sheikh, you know, I hear you saying Islam a lot. Are you an al-Islam Muslim? And I can say, well, that's a great question, my brother or sister. I have no problem or nothing against none of my brothers that represent things outside themselves. But doesn't that sound just like catechism of Christianity, believing in something that's outside yourself? A Christian might say, hey, they're going to go to heaven. Hell, and the al-Islam Muslim say he's going to have virtue when he go to heaven. Hey, okay, they both might see each other on the road.
Where's the first place to find God or Allah, or Yahweh?
Hey, Malik, we know we gonna keep it clean.
Well, simple question. It's in the heart. In the heart.
We don't have no problem with nobody doing 5 salats. We do the al-salat. We have no problem. But it's in your Quran. It's in there. We connected to God. We connected to God. That's our rest time. And if you read, if you study, then you will know what I'm talking about. If not, then I understand. I truly do.
All these holy books or religious books, so-called, they synchronize though.
Mm-hmm.
They work together, not separately. But we could use the Bible though. We'll be okay with it.
Yeah. Because it all represents the fifth principle of Islam, because they have the most powerful influence upon all terrestrial life. And second only to the vitalizing influence of the what? The sun. You're not sun cursed, you sun kissed. You need that natural vitamin D. Most people in the city of Flint, when you get older, our parents become vitamin D deficient. They'll tell you not get enough sun. Ask them. They'll be like, yeah, I know that because I know. The moon exerts more power on Earth because it's closer than any other planet. The last quarter is the strongest. When the moon is full, it is closest to the Earth and has an adverse effect on the lower nature of man and woman. Luna is also the fastest planet in this part of the universe, for it takes only 28 days to make its orbit around the Earth. Also, the power exerted on woman is exhibited through Luna. You said something, Malik?
No, go ahead.
Okay. The 4 quarters of the master symbol. Think about this. 90 times 4 is what?
360.
Come on, everybody should know that.
360.
All right. So is the number 9 the number of man?
Yes.
Every man is born on a square.
In
The
9
baby
months,
lies.
bada beam.
Come on, Malik. The baby lies on a 90-degree angle in a woman's womb from conception to birth and is in gestation for 9 months. So, brothers and sisters, that's supreme manifestation. Oh, we almost done. We where we need to be. Because see, when I say mathematics and principles of Islam, I ain't saying break it down. Well, A is this and B is this. No, man. Yeah, I get that. That's simple. Mathematics and the principle of I, self, law, and master, even though that's an acronym. Just like when you see the pentagram standing straight up, arm, leg, leg, arm, head.
God and man one.
The closest place to find Allah, Yahuwah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, whatever, is in your heart. It's in your heart.
That's why it says circumcision of the heart.
So the number 1 represents, you see, y'all see what I got on my neck? This, you probably can't see it. I probably can't see that. It's the 1 though, but anyway. The number 1 represents the brown man. I'm saying it like that. Or the descendant of the Moabite nation, the Moorish nation, the Moorish Ishmaelite, all of that, the Moorish Israelite, all that. If we all one, we have to understand this. Once we understand, we'll be so better. It expresses the absolute and infinite possibilities. And it is that from which all proceeds, brothers and sisters, which contains all, and to which all finally returns, because nothing goes out void to none of us. How can anything go out void? And we created to the Creator. We created to Allah. We created to Yahweh. We created to whatever you want to call it. How? Because you made in the image of God. If you wasn't, I wouldn't tell you that. Well, who created you? What you created in the image of what? The Creator. What are we talking about? It signifies that everything came from the all. The Buddha, the God, the Allah, the Jehovah, the Yahuwah, all that. All the earthlings are descendants from that one race. Come on, man. We know that. We can say this and that. It's fine.
The human.
Come on, man. And out of corruption from Moabite nations came Moors. Moor being derived from the word Moabite. All men are Moors, whether they are conscious or unconscious. Can't nobody make you something that you were born. One thing somebody can make you is a Freemason or a sucker. No, you can be born a sucker too, so we can leave that alone. One represents the universal principle, the creative intelligence, that force, which is the motive power of the universe, and man and woman becomes intellect and will. It becomes intellect and will. Brothers, sisters, you are science. So in science, it is the law of how can I say, conservation, like when you conserve an energy. So I would say it's like a conservation of your energy. When you're dealing with microcosms, it indicates unlimited potentiality. In man and woman, it indicates relative potentiality. When a lot of y'all women, y'all see a nice looking man and you be like, he got potential, girl, he got some muscles. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing but a hard, you know what, that's it. Ain't got nothing else. You working hard, spending all that bread, girl, he got potential. The only thing he probably doing is knocking the Mario coins out of you.
Oh, the Mario coin.
I had to say it politically correct, believe.
That's funny.
We
You
almost
can have
there.
fun with this too. You ain't gotta be so serious. You can have fun with it.
But it's just the real. But we have that, y'all. I mean, I just know the power. I've been around some brothers, man, and we all been in the place. We all had some stuff. We all had, like in the scripture says, all sickness is not death. We all had some moments on us where we was like, man, if we didn't have what we have now, we don't know where we don't know. We don't know why, because we wouldn't have had what we have to allow us to overcome. You see, we didn't have what we needed to overcome. Because I can do so much with this science, man. I can break these lessons down over and over and over and over and over. But if brothers have nothing for me to give back, you know. And so
Yes,
I want to stop right there, because all the lessons that I'm saying, no matter what vernacular I'm using, no matter what synonyms that I'm using, I'm speaking your language. I'm speaking your language. And so I invite you to come to class. I invite people to ask questions as we're going to the next level. I invite everybody to say, hey man, what about this? Like Malik was saying, having a conversation with the guy, you know, at the school.
He on here. My noble on here. He on here. He on our YouTube page today. He came. He tapped in.
Yeah, I want brothers to ask questions, because I hope brothers don't come from ego and all of us be trying to prove a point to each other because we're using a religious book. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't even know the other language. And I say, because I ask a lot of my Hebrew brothers, I say, well, if you're Hebrew, do you study Hebrew? And I say, well, write me a paragraph in Hebrew and then read that Hebrew paragraph. Do you have the lexicon? Do you know what this word means and this and that? So all those gray areas, I don't be wanting to argue with no brothers. I asked a brother, do you know what pseudepigrapha mean? He was like, I don't know what that means. I said, okay, so look the word up, and then we can have another conversation with my Islamic brother, because I deal with language. I understand about the Nabatan alphabet. I understand about the Surah library, but I show a lot of brothers, a lot of stuff is Judaic or Jewish text or Talmudic text, when a lot of brothers don't look at it with a real eye. And if we don't know the language, or if we don't know the Syriac language, and if we're using the King James version of most people use, I said, oh, you screwed. And I'm not saying nobody individually. I'm saying in general. If you're using the King James version to try to explain anything with me, I think we need to sit down and have a linguistic conversation, because then we have to break down the original language, because in Hebrew, you didn't have vowels. You hear me, Malik?
Yep.
So it'd be hard for you, a person, to try to tell me something, and I say, well, all this stuff is mistransliterated, and a person that get lost in mistranslation dealing with me.
Because you got to know what it means at times.
Yeah, I'll be having to correct so much language. You know what I mean? And time periods and dispensations, I'll be like, well, this didn't happen then. And then I show the time, you'll be like, damn, it wasn't. He wasn't even born then, per se, the person you talk about or the situation. You'll be like, damn. I'll show you these people got the same mom and dad. So how they gonna produce something different? Only thing they can produce is an albino. They ain't finna produce no freaking European. Malik mama and dad ain't finna produce no goddamn European. Now, if you that stupid, I'm gonna cuss you out in real, and I'm gonna walk away if you come with that nonsense with me. Period. So that's just a fact with me. I come from no prejudice. I come from no racist. I come from.
You said no two white people can't produce. No, say that again. No.
I said your mother. That's whatever. Misnomer black, and your misnomer black daddy is not going to produce no European baby.
No, we only produce albinos and what we are.
Yeah, I know that.
That's it.
So So when we come to the game, like that's not hard. That's not hard to understand. And even when people say, well, and then I got to deal with science because I love all my Islam brothers. I tell people I'm not on nobody's side. I'm on the truth side, and the truth will help you. Europeans can produce albinos. If anybody get on here and say, yes, they can. I bet anybody $1,000 right now. Look it up. I bet you $1,000. I bet you $1,000 right. I bet anybody on here $1,000 right now that European can produce albinos. I bet you $1,000 right now. Look it up. Don't bite your hand. I already talked. I showed you this earlier, like a couple months ago. I said I'm gonna come back and ask a question. I used to do this on campus. I asked a whole scenario about a police situation. Say, hey man, two dudes was walking down the street, and boom, one dude they think got one dude probably got killed. I talk lecture. I come back. I say, who got stabbed? How many people got stabbed? People be like 2, 3 people got stabbed. I ain't said nothing about nobody getting stabbed. But now I'm talking about the scenario again about Europeans can't produce an albino. Yes, they can. Look it up. Take your time. Look it up real fast. Prove me wrong. Action.
You said, can Europeans? Oh, can Europeans produce an albino?
Yeah.
Can 2 Europeans produce an albino? Yes, 2 Europeans can produce an albino child. It's called albinism. It's a disease.
No shit.
But they have to be a carrier of that trait in order to produce it. So that means what? If they're a carrier of that trait, that means they came from the original people who carried that trait. And so original people have to be dark-skinned people.
Malik, you still not listening. Say what you just said again.
I said, in order to be a carrier of the trait, you had to come from the person who carried the trait. If the people who produced albinos are melanated people, that's why they call them albinos. It's a skin pigmentation it's a lack of melanin. That you lack melanin. So melanin is deficient.
I would give you, if you was in school, if you was in my science class, I would probably give you a half a grade.
Hold on, but let me be clear. Because Europeans were first, the original Europeans or the first Britons, Briton, were dark-skinned people.
I hear you. I hear you. Read it again. The beginning should tell you everything that you need to know. Read it again.
It says, yes, 2 European people can have a child with albinism.
No, read the definition.
What definition?
What you read? Albinism is a what?
Albinism is a genetic defect, a lack of production of
stop.
melanin.
Wait. Say what you just said. It's a what?
A lack of production of melanin. Not that you have none.
No, listen. It's a genetic defect, right?
Defect. Yeah.
Okay. So listen. So if it's a genetic defect, it's a genetic defect. That's not a black thing. It's a genetic defect through a birth. Right. It ain't got nothing to do with black or white. It's a genetic defect through birth. Period. Right. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
So when a European, 2 Europeans can create an albino. 2 Europeans can create a person. You'd be like, damn, it'll look like them, but he had his hair, his eyes, everything could be he have albinism. That's the name of the disease. It ain't nothing different in misnomer blacks. The only difference in blacks is blacks have a little bit more of melanin. So when that hit blacks, it's gonna hit them in a whole different way. Why? Because the melanin has to be sucked down. It's almost like you got a milkshake in the thing and you sucked all the melanin out. That's what happens with black people, because your pigment is different. Just like say if you took a group of Europeans and moved them to South Africa per se, which a lot of Europeans stayed there. Some of them may be darker depending on the climate, but let's say a hot climate, they might look a little bit different. Their skin might be a little bit darker, or you would say the Hindustan or the Indian per se with the dark skin. They don't say they African American per se. That's a whole nother story. But if their child come out as an albino, it's going to hit that melanin.
Yeah, the lack thereof.
Europeans have melanin less. So when you look at it, they almost look like a ghost per se. I forget that movie, what it was. They have a lack of melanin. So it's sucking something that's not there. So it's gonna look a little bit different.
Yeah, your melanin acts as a conductor for the sun, so you can turn the vitamin D sun or the sunlight into a hormone, which they consider vitamin D,
Yeah, but
and a lot of
like
other things. That's just one.
I was making an emphasis on when we had those religious conversations with those, and they try to say, well, this brother was this, and this brother was this, and this brother was that. I said, no, no, no. We have to get out of all hate. If we're going to do things, we have to be scientifically correct. And a lot of time when religious people have those conversations, Malik, we get into religion. You know what I mean? Like the big
Well, it's
head
also a
science.
color spectrum, right? Because
Yeah.
they've been taught a bad thing. You can't tell what somebody is by looking at them. You can't tell where their mother and father come from just by looking at somebody. You might want to put them in a box based off what you was taught, but that don't mean that's what you are. You got to ask somebody what they are, who they from. You can't just automatically just look at the color of somebody's skin and say, "Oh, you such and such."
Islam, and that's
You
what
don't
we
know
do.
what to expect.
Yep. So it's just good to have these conversations with my brothers. And like I said, the floor is always open for anybody to ask anything, or, you know, like I said, that's what we use these classes for. I usually have specific things to talk about, but I just wanted to, you know, kind of freestyle, give a little science, you know, because we should have this stuff. We should have this dialogue, because I know a lot of religious brothers, Malik do too. But then I say, okay, well, now we know the religious stuff. Now what? Okay, well, now what? You know, because this stuff been here for a long time. A lot of people don't know a lot of these, just like a lot of my Israelite brothers. When I say a lot of the Hebrew Israelites, when I talk about Winworth Matthews and the Moriah Zion Temple of the Jews, and then when I talk about Yahweh ben Yahweh, that was under the FOI. I say a lot of these brothers was under different houses. A lot of these brothers lived under different houses of wisdom, and whatever happened to them brothers as they got more powerful, whatever happened. But we just don't deal here at the BBT with nothing that's going to keep us away, especially if we're talking about a so-called religious book. We're just not going to allow that to separate us at the BBT, because we'll sit down and have those conversations with our brothers and sisters that's willing to learn, that have an open heart, especially if the heart is pure, you know, and that's what we're here at the BBT. You wanted to say something, Malik? But if nobody else have nothing, man, like I said, I don't have nothing else. I have nothing else. But nationality is always the order of the day with me. Your nationality and your spirituality is very important. You're not Negro, Black, and colored, and African American, because all those are misnomers. And we speak on this. We can have these conversations, because no Negro, Black, or colored, or African American never going to get no reparations identifying as slaves. It's never going to happen. The Dred Scott Law was never abolished. It was always illegal to be a Negro, Black, or color, or African American since the 1800s. So I hope we start having this dialogue with brothers and sisters, for we can say, okay, well, what we need to do. And then we go to the next level. We must give all those slave castes back and connect ourselves to the mothers and fathers of the nations. And we can show us how to do it. You got to stop signing as a Negro. You got to understand what the SF 181 form is. You have to have these conversations with your babies. People need to come to class and learn. Hit me up. So with that being said, Malik, can you take us out of here, man? That's a wrap, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, nobody got nothing else.
Thank
Like I
everybody
said,
for tapping in, get a piece of this wisdom.
Oh,
I
hey, look,
thank
hey,
everybody for
Carla,
tapping in, getting some of this wisdom.
Malik, Carla
Yeah, he
said the movie
twins.
was.
That's what we talking about, the albino.
Yes, so to speak. Yeah, and that's how similar it will look like per se. You know.
Right. Blonde hair, blue eyes, pale skin.
Yep. Yep.
Or what some people would biblically would say, the plague of leprosy.
Malik, remember in the biblical scripture, for all my biblical, did some homework. Malik started, because I can always find stuff for you. This homework, find a biblical scripture, find the story. And the biblical scripture said when he put his hand in his bosom, it came out white as leprosy. Then he put his hand back in his bosom, and it came back to the color it was before he put his hand in his bosom. So right off that, I'll give you 2 hints.
What color was it originally before he put it in there?
If we're gonna start telling the story, Malik, because see, I'm way past this. I'm done off my knees. We ain't gonna tell our story, who we are in the biblical scriptures, because I can go way further. Because I can show you that the misnomer black man is the father of civilization, proved by the Bible alone. I can take you all the way there. And if none of our teachers and preachers or Moors or sheiks and so-called holy men don't have the balls to do it, I'm gonna keep doing it. All the stuff I don't care about. All the stuff I can care less about what people call them. I can care less. I'm a Moor. I'm from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. So if the Hebrew brother don't like me or this and the other, I can care less because I know who I am. I connect myself to come on. I'm talking biblical. I'm from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. Malik can tell you who he is. He's from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. What we talking about? Why you don't like Malik? A person want to talk Malik to death over some different religion. Malik keep telling like, man, I'm from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. Malik ain't got no problem being an Israelite. Malik ain't got no problem being an Israelite because Moors are Israelites per se. But when a person try to throw something on you as, oh, we the Hebrews and we all the Hebrews, well, that's just an act. That's just a physical act. What? Part in the water. We can deal with linguistics because what would you before then? Because Malik is his father's son, all that. He don't do no act and change his blood, change why I'm a damn this. No, Hebrew is an act. And so those that did that crossed over per se and killed all those Chaldeans. They called their asses Hebrews. I don't care, and people can take it how they want to with me. I don't feel no other way about it. You say what, Noble?
That was Exodus 4 and 6.
Exodus 4 and 6.
Islam, the earlier scripture. Exodus 4 and 6. Then the Lord said, put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand inside his cloak. And when he took it out, the skin was leprous. It had become as white as snow. And then it was like, now to verse 7, now put it back into your cloak, he said, at her bosom. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak. And when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his flesh. It was long.
This is Moses.
And if they call Simon nigger, they tell a nigger, no, we know. I don't care how many G's you put in it. Who was his brother? Jesus, Yeshua. Oh, okay. So we talk about tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. That's why I want to talk about the genealogy of Yahshua, Yahushua, whatever Messiah. Because you got to talk about Ruth from Obidus. You got to talk about Tamir. You got to talk about that bloodline. Okay, watch this. Okay, who was baptized in the physical water? Watch this. Who was baptized in the physical water first? Anybody? Anybody? My religious brothers on here? Watch this. No, you ain't got to say no. Let's see if anybody else. Oh, let's see anybody else know. Because we can get out. Who was baptized in the physical water first, per se? I'll say it before it go too long because I don't want to stay too long. Because my brothers that study the Bibles, they should know this. They should know this just like they know a rap song. Nope. Not Jesus. Nope. I said before him, just like in your Moorish Quran, who is the harbinger? Who was the harbinger in the Moorish Quran? Wasn't so-called Marcus Garvey? Okay, so in the Bible, who was the so-called Marcus Garvey?
John. The harbinger.
Thank you. Hey, when John baptized, that's why I'll be telling people I'll be knowing they don't be knowing their stuff. I ain't saying nobody on here. I'll be talking to the ones that be professing. And I say, okay, so if John was baptized in the physical water, was John so-called Jesus' cousin? Yes or no? You ain't got to say nothing, Malik. Huh? Was John Jesus' cousin? Yes or no? Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, they was family.
Oh, what side of the family? Watch.
The mother side.
Oh.
And what was she? What was she? What tribe was she from? And what refer to women as what? Are what? Moabites.
I mean, come on, man. This too easy, man. Like, come on, man. This too easy. So if it's on his mother's side, you got to have a father's side too, right?
Yeah.
Right? Everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on now, this ain't no fake. Oh, what? Mac, look, this ain't no fake. Oh, the spirit came down. Boom, I'm pregnant. Oh, baby, man. This ain't that. Come on now, everybody should be saying this with confidence, with surety. If you're not saying with surety, that's the problem. We speak with confidence and understanding.
Oh, and 8-7 said, it says from darkness came light, not the other way around.
Yeah, in that perspective, it's remember
No,
now.
in the bosom. The bosom. I'm talking. He was giving an example of the
Oh yeah,
bosom,
yeah, in
but
the bosom.
he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
referring
yeah,
it back to the beginning.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
And then there was light, but it was first darkness.
Yeah. Well, then I can say in the beginning the word was all. Then I can come from another concept. Because remember, you know me, I'm gonna go all the way with the wisdom. I'm gonna say, okay, well, in the beginning, the word was dark. If we're talking about melanation,
Yeah.
if you see the people on the continent area, we can say, yeah, the word was dark. Because how in the biblical scripture, I'm gonna give another nickel. How in the Bible could somebody go hide and then somebody family tell Malik and Lamar to go look for sheep in the land of the so-called Egyptians per se? How the hell
Right.
I'm gonna go and then you come back and report like I couldn't find Kareem nowhere, but you be like, well, Kareem got a big nose, you know, he dark skinned. You be like, well, goddamn it, everybody I turn from look like Kareem. How the hell I'm gonna be a different guy? I stick out like a sore nail. Stop the cap. We done, man. We playing Crips and blood on each other. And that's what I be telling them. I said, I just told you I'm from the tribe of Judah, Lynch, David by blood. But when you come with this whole thing, I know most brothers don't know linguistics, Malik, and it's no disrespect to no one. I know most brothers don't have lexicons. So when brothers be speaking, I say it's no disrespect. You have to do the language with me. I do the language. And when I do it, history and scholarship, I mean, I went to academia for this. I'm not here to prove nothing wrong to nobody. I'm showing you what it is. You can't go wrong with the damn lexicons and what the words mean. So if I show you Hebrew is just an act that someone done, that don't change you.
Yeah,
You can't get
somebody call you, if your name is John and they start calling you Philip in 10 years from now, you know, that don't replace that your name is John from the beginning.
No.
It don't. You
and
John from the beginning, but somebody says your name is Philip. That don't mean to make you Philip. It make you John still. You still John. Somebody else just calling you a different name way down the road. They just change the names along the way. Even biblically, they do it. If you get Bibles from different time periods, you'll see that the tribal names of the people that they're referring to as a whole change throughout those Bibles. You can go get Bibles from different, let's say, decades, and you'll see some of the words, and when they're referring to a specific people, they use different names to describe those people.
And in the Bible, there's a whole bunch of people. You got the Hamites, the Amalekites, the Amorites. It's so many people. I broke it down in one lecture showing you all these families. You can't put all the people, the nations in the biblical scripture where it names all these families and say we are just this. Because then I'm gonna say, well, how did you become this? And who did you murder? Who? Tell me who these group of people went and slaughtered everybody. Did you go to Europe and slaughter all these people? Because it didn't look like to me. It looked like to me he was in Canaan land. To me, it looked like you slaughtered Chaldeans. That's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me. So I don't.
That's what it is.
Thank you, Malik. So when people be trying to think, that's all I be saying, and I be like, brothers, like, wait a minute, like, hold on, like now, like let's sit down and have some conversations with each other. For men, what we doing? What we doing? Because when people try to say, "Oh, the Moors killed the Africans," man, Leopold did that, and he used those Africans and put the fez on their head, just like Hitler. His regiment studied Islam, so we'll destroy that again. Now let's revert back to this biblical thing.
Hey, can I add something what you just brought up, Hitler,
Yeah,
right? This is the
absolutely.
This is the cool part about Hitler that people don't even realize, right?
Yes.
So during the Olympics, when Jesse Owens won the gold, right, and he came to Germany, right, who shook his hand and greeted him with open arms?
I don't even know.
Did. Hitler. So, but guess who didn't shake his hand when he came back home? President Roosevelt. So that should tell you who Hitler was talking about, who he was trying to destroy. It wasn't melanated people at all. It was the people causing all the anarchy and chaos.
The one that he called, the one that he called Balfour.
Right. The Balfour is the stepchild.
Can't be mad at me, man.
And they
Can't
tried
nobody
to say
be
he was
mad at
talking
me.
about black people. And he wasn't talking about the original Jews, Hebrews, or Israelites. He was talking about the Jewish people, the ones who stole the actual name of the people. He was talking about them.
What did the second president of Egypt say, Nasar? The reason why God's land is cursed because God's people left black and came back white.
Right. Yeah.
So when we be talking to our
gods,
so that's what we be talking to our brothers. We be like, brothers, like, what's the anger? Even with my Muslim brothers, I said, brothers, I love y'all, but I'm Sufi, I'm Tasawwuf. I get it, but I'll break down your Quran, and then because I know most brothers don't study, and if you are Islam, well, what's the difference from the Sunni and the Nation of Islam? Because both of their understanding is totally different.
What is
the
that?
Sunni
Cultural
Muslim,
practices, right? That's culture.
yeah, well, you know the NOI, they look at Elijah Muhammad, you know what I mean, as you know. But that's
Messiah.
a whole other. And you see Malik, and that's another thing when we sit and talk with reason, because I'm down with my NOI brothers when they say they don't believe in that sky God stuff. See, I'm down with that too, because I'm down with real movement too. Because if an NOI brother came to you and said this, I bet you Malik can agree. If an NOI said this, Malik, he was like, brother Malik, you know what? I respect and honor everything. He was like, but I know you understand what I'm understanding, because Malik, he was like, well, Malik, well, that sky God stuff is not going to do nothing for us. And my prophet and the honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only brother. We call him our Messiah because look what he's done for us. Look all the schools been built. Look at this. Look at all the brothers been cleaned up. We don't deal with no sky God. But I understand, brother, the work we do is real. The work we do is touch. So this brother, just like I know you and more, don't you know your one-on-ones? What do your one-on-one say as a prophet and an angel? What does it say?
It's clothed in the flesh.
Uh-huh. So you have to agree from that concept. You wouldn't disagree. Why? Because you understand that. You understand that. Like, we understand this sky God sitting all that, but a prophet and an angel in the flesh is the ones that got to go do them hands. You want some divine understanding, but yes, that prophet and the angel is in the flesh. We ain't dealing with that sky God, because the closest place to find God, Allah, is where, Malik?
In the heart.
So that means God is in you.
Period.
Islam.
And the Bible is the instructions, right? Just like the Circle 7 is instructions to follow the guidance of Yahshua, right? The guidance. This is his. He was the example, so follow the example.
Look, I gotta answer a question, because Carla asked a question. He said, to be Tasawwuf, do we have to be poor?
No.
If anybody deny, if you have to say that statement, that's a state of mind.
Right.
I don't know if that's a trick question. Do we have to be poor? I think nobody should be poor.
But there's things that people have to go through, and they might have a poor state, right? To go through. Because how would you know what poor is if you haven't been through it? How can you attest to somebody if you've never been through nothing? So yes, you probably have to experience some type of poorness, right? And it doesn't mean financial. It could be poor state of mind. It could be poor health. It could be something of poor. Being poor means like the lowest of that example, right? Less, not using. So it could be financial. It could be mental. It could be health wise. There's a whole bunch of different examples of being poor, right? So it could be state of mind. You could be poor, right? But we have all the information to raise you up out of that. And it's a decision that you have to internally make from within. And then everything from within, that's internal believing within, you exploit that out. And it should pour out of all your actions.
What you said, pick your struggle, was that quote, Malik?
Which one?
We said what you said, pick your struggle. Hey, both of them, to be poor and rich is both a struggle, or to be, and we're not even saying rich, but we're saying mind state, like Malik was saying, was like, we have tools and we have abilities. Me and my empress was talking about this earlier, you know. You said they supposed to be poor. Yeah, but you talk about different cultures. That's what I be telling people. You talking about different cultures. It's like if you talk about the Europeans that did things. We talk about things outside our culture. This is what I be telling people. I said, and this is what I be trying to tell people. I said they still not getting it. Noble Ali wasn't poor. Noble Ali was a Sufi. That's the Islam we under.
The laws.
You know, that's the Islam we under. And this is what I be telling brothers. I'll be like, come on, man. I said, a lot of times we be watching too much. A lot of times I told people, yeah, this Islamism. So people now don't be listening. That's why I be saying, man, people be trying to read so much, but it ain't just about no books. It's being connected. The books is right here. It's application. So when we even have those things, and when we look at the
movie that gives us an analogy, right? It's Book of Eli, right? You figured out the dude was blind, right? Through the whole movie. He ended up letting the dude take the book. The book was written in Braille. It has to be in you. It should be in you. And that's the internal belief. Once you know, you only know through actions, right? Just like love is an action word, to know is an action word as well, right? Because you have to believe it, then you act on it. Now you know because you've seen the fruits of your labor be produced. So once you get past the belief, you know. So there's no more believing, it's you know. And just like people, we know right from wrong because you didn't done it, you didn't live it. So you know right from wrong. So it's no believe, oh, I believe this is right. No, you know whether it is or not. So it's no longer a belief. Belief is part of it, right? Part of the journey, right? But so is the action of knowing. Because that's how you get to go, oh, that's not right. So you know that that's not right what you did, right? So I'm not going to do that again. Let me go over here and let me try this. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, that's not right. So you know those two things are right, right? Now you know. It's not I got to believe those two things are wrong. It's you know that those two things are wrong. Now when you get to the right answer through your actions, because you believe that you're going to get the right answer, right? And do it right along the way, you're going to make some bumps and you're going to bump your head along the way of your transformation, right? Then when you get it right, you know it's right. It's not I have to believe anymore. You know that what you just did and what you went through, you know how you got there was right.
Yep.
Because you had to go through all those things to get it right. So it's about getting to having the belief that you can do it first and foremost, right? And then portraying the actions and go through the motions to get there. Because once you come out on the other side, when you know, you're like, man, you look back and be like, I did that. You don't even look about how long the time was for you to get there. When you get there, you got there. And it's like, yes, right? It's a celebration. You don't look back and be like, man, that took me 10 years. You don't do that. You be like, yes, I got here. That's the gratitude, having gratitude. And then you help others get there just by your journey. You can tell somebody your journey. It's like the Noble was telling me yesterday, his journey, right? But the journey to get to where you was is your journey. Nobody can save you from it. And the only way you're able to manifest or speak to other people is that you have a story to tell. That's the blessing. You got a story to tell. How you got to where you are and able to talk to who you ever talking to share your wisdom of what you went through and your understanding of what you went through. So, man, just be an example. That's all I got to say. Be an example. Be the change you want to see. And it don't take beating people over the head to do that.
Yeah, Malik, I see. And that's where, well, my brother, he speak with so much wisdom. That's the point I want to close out with. Brothers can't be going through their storm and at the same time you're going through the storm trying to teach people. Because you're traveling and everybody knows you got that thunderstorm right with your ass. Excuse my candor. Every time you pull up, it's a thunderstorm with you. It's raining, it's current, it's all type of stuff, hell, and it's right with you. But you spit some out that don't even match with the whole image. It ain't been no work. That's why I tell people, you got to be locked up. Malik, we said, like, we don't, this science is for us. I say, what? It's the regular stuff. This science is for the everyday life. That's how people be getting twisted up. We regular people not listening. I know people got to the science. Their family was like, man, I used to stay up with my mama. I don't stay at home no more. Why? Because you're talking crazy. Oh man, me and my auntie and my cousin used to be cool, but every time you come around, you talking crazy, and your life don't match what you're talking about. So they don't like you to come around. Now, what you doing now? You're not married. I'm talking about a lot of them. So now, what can happen? You potentially out on your own for all the crazy. So now you spending a lot of us that done got into this science, not me, young men, you got to rebuild everything. You know?
And it has to be through your actions. And the action, first principle has to be through love. And you can't force somebody to love you. You just got to continue to be an example, right? Through love, right? Once you have been consistent, the 3 C's, commitment, communication, and consistency. Once you be committed and you're consistent and you're communicating out of love, everything else, I'm not saying you're not going to have challenges, but it becomes way smoother and easier. You'll start seeing, you'll start feeling the energies come back to you, right? You'll start seeing everything manifest in a positive direction, like you envisioned, like you had desired, right? But instead of just only desiring, you're actually doing it. Now you know what to do, how to apply it, because you've been practicing. Practicing is for perfection, right? It's not to be perfect. It's for perfection, to build one up, to be perfected, because we should constantly be learning.
Yeah, and that's where we be at with it, man. And I tell my people, get off our knees. Let's have accountability. We love our brothers, but we got to change. And a lot of people be having kids. There's a couple people on my page, a couple ladies, and I see a lot of ladies. I know they have young men and they have young women, and even all the stuff that happened in my city of Flint, these killings. Man, people need to come out of that stuff and let's say, you know, we need a real change. We need somebody to stand up, because I'm willing to be the voice. We polish. We really to stand up and do things the right way, because we don't have religion for a long time. And like Malik said, we know what we're doing right or wrong. Our babies know what's right or wrong. I don't blame it all on the parents. I don't blame it all on the parents, because there's some single moms that busting their ass, going to work all day. We know these things, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna say
this. She, you know, a lot of people, you know, religion rise, right? Have been through religious houses, and the reason why they don't go to church and temples and all of that, because they didn't feel that they were just getting anything out of there, right? So what I've understood is through the sciences, you know, through the holy books, right? I don't necessarily have to pull out a book to bang them over the head and show them where they right and where they wrong. What I could do is just be the example of what I'm telling them about. Be that example, because people want to see something real. They don't want to see, oh, well, you was pulling out the book and you don't. No, I make mistakes too. I do. That's how I learn. That's how I got to where I am. That's how I'm able to speak the way I speak, because I went through some things in life. And I'm real. So I'm talking to you as a real person. I take this turban off and I still talk to you the same way. Out of love, we can sit here and have a cool conversation. I can share with you how I manifested and got to the point of understanding, right? But it takes that person to wherever that light switch flips on for them to get it. Right? It's in their time. It ain't in my time. It's in their time. Their time is different than my time. And we got to have patience and do love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I told a brother the other day, I said, man, I said, I can work with anybody. You a God of earth, you a Hebrew, you another. I'm okay with all that. Why? Because I'm okay with it. That's why. Why shouldn't I be? Why shouldn't I be? Why shouldn't I be okay with who you feel? Why? Why shouldn't us as brothers and sisters in a community in the area that we know each other, why shouldn't we be okay with each other? Why shouldn't we have a common denominator? Why shouldn't we? Because we should. And I want, and everybody that's here that's joining us, come, please take your time, come learn, no matter what it is, like my noble Malik said, no matter what's going on, no matter what timing you are, you might be able to come here and help us on our journey, because we all are working in progress as well, because our life don't come with a manual. Marriages don't come with a manual. raising kids don't come with a manual. What I'm telling you, I done been around these brothers that I met doing this, and we all had some real life situations where we had to come get through it together. And so I'm
So I
telling
want to
people,
address what Carlin said, right? He said these women will choose to be single. Not so you said women, right? Yes, women that are just women. A woman who wants to be a wife will not choose to be single.
come on.
That's the
Oh, I
difference.
love this conversation.
So, yeah. So a woman who wants to be, or a female who wants to be a wife will have wife tendencies.
Yes, sir.
Right? She don't just want to be married. There's women out there who want to be married. They don't want to be wives. There's a big difference. That's just
Big
to
difference.
have a status. Being married just to have a status. That's all that is. A woman who desires to be a wife is different than somebody who wants to be married. They're two different things. Because one is knowing what a wife entails, and the other one is just having an idea of what they think a wife entails, or a marriage. I'm not even saying a wife, because she knew what a wife was already. She would be a wife, right? And that takes discernment, right? That takes accountability. That takes knowing your environment, right? Having discernment to sit back and be patient. There's a lot of things that come with that. And so, it's a lot of bad men and women out there, right? That, choose to be single. Nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, the women you're mostly speaking of is those women who already have children with other men.
Yeah.
And, society has done a number on our women too, with not having them be accountable for things. And there's men out there who are not accountable. So I'm not just talking about women. I'm just addressing what he said. There are men out there who are not accountable. So let me throw that out there for women who might be listening right now. Like, oh, he's only talking about us. No, there's men out there who are not accountable as well. So, and I know a few myself. So what I'm saying is just the society has made it okay. And I'm saying it's not okay, but a woman who wants to be a wife, she will speak to that, right? She will speak to them women who are not accountable. She will speak to that. And so women who want to be wives and speak to that, they stick out, and they don't take that mess, and they don't hang around women who just want to be married or single women. Women who want to be wives don't hang out with them type of people. And if they do, they telling them they wrong. Just like my fellas right now, the group I'm around, my tribe. If I did something, I'll be like, man, what'd you do that for? But 9 times out of 10, I already know I did it wrong.
And see, and that's what and he said he talking about his baby mama, like dudes have babies that don't want some to be around. But then I'll be like, well, once again, Malik said, these are our choices. These like we're talking about 2025. Yeah, and we're talking about 2025. So, and this what I'm saying about all the wisdom that we have. Like right now, this is the perfect situation to talk about what we're saying. This is the prime example. The prime example is we getting all this wisdom, and like if you're saying from a personal aspect, like this is your baby mother, that's what we're saying. Like a lot of things has to be corrected. Like what we're saying was like we don't look at the toothpick in somebody else's eye, and we have a log in ours. See, a lot of the stuff Malik is talking about I. Everything we're talking about right now is I. That's why we're able to talk about this, because we're adults. I'm getting ready to be 48. Malik getting ready to be 48. We're trying to help young men, but they ain't listening. Because we know. Yeah, you about to be 5. I'm about to be 48 in January. I know wisdom. We smell it. So we can look back at a young man and say, okay, well, how old are you, brother? Boom, boom, this is what's going on. We know what's going on. And if any young man is having an issue with his child right now, it got to be financial situation. Because if a person was working doing all this, it wouldn't be no other situation. So it's variables why this situation is what it is. One of the variables is who we lay with. And the main common denominator is mutual, right?
Communication is big. Right? The 3 C's we talk about, right? Commitment, communication, and consistency, right? And men, we got to be consistent, right? Because our value comes with age, right? Women's are born with their value. Men's value come with age and knowing and having a structure set up that a wife wants to come into. And you got to be invited. You got to create that environment, right?
Yeah.
You know,
And he's saying baby mama. Yeah, you keep saying baby mama. Like, that's not your wife. You keep saying your baby mama. She left when you were on top. Now, we got to be honest, like on top, we talk about street stuff. Because, and see, that is what I always say. I say, everybody have, these are the worlds we're talking about. We remember, these are the worlds we talk about. We in the science. So if a woman left you on top, what you mean? Were you in the streets? Because if I'm on top, I'm always going to be on top. Why? Because I'm a professional. So and I save my money. So what I in the streets and I lost all my money doing a bad drug deal? I'm just keeping it really, because if I'm on top, that sounds like a hustler story to me when people talk. I'm just being honest. If you were sitting here talking to me in my movies, I'd be like, when you was on top, what were you doing to be on top? Well, you know, no, the fuck I don't. Excuse my candor. What were you doing to be on top? You got a business? What, you was hustling? Or you working a whole bunch of jobs? So if you don't have nothing now and you had it then by working up 3 jobs, well, I think you need to work 3 jobs now. Why ain't working 3 jobs now? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. So when a person say, when you was on top, what were you doing to be on top? Because if it was working for you, you need to get back to that. If it's legit. If it ain't legit, Malik, then that's the problem. Am I right about what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
See, we gotta be honest. We gotta be honest with what we're talking about and what we're dealing with. Just like I deal with people when they say, well, can you look at my case? Or they're trying to tell me something about a case. I said, dude, I can't just listen to you. Just like if it was Malik. Just like if it was Malik, I said, dude, I understand, but I have to see the case. Because you might have said something and not told me, and then I can't help you. These
so
are
then
these.
my question becomes based off what he put there. My question becomes then what happened with you?
Right. 2 jobs, college, grad out the way. Okay. So you out of college and all that. Okay, great. So you're a college grad. So now it's some variables like, what do you need to do? That's why these brotherhoods that Malik talking about is so valid. Brothers don't be like, we have private stuff. It's so much that can go on. Cities, we help people get jobs. Sometimes people need to leave their environment. It's so much that go with this. Like, I'm a counselor. A lot of us just go on with life and start pointing backwards instead of looking forward. See, a lot of us don't get on the couch and we just get in relationships and don't think you can carry that baggage with you and you be a grown ass man with all those mom and daddy issues or situations because they haven't been dealt with. See, these is all valid things too. These are valid things that we don't get in churches. Why? Because then nobody care. I tell brothers, I love so much that I see this. I'm an elder and I lost my brother. My brother was murdered. So I'll be on a whole different daddy level. And I'm younger than my brothers. When they come around, I just like to, they know. So
the other part is, you gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps, man. Just if you was already there, that means you could get back there, pure point blank.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you can get there. So if you already been there, you already know what it feel like to be there. You know what it took to get there. So get there. Stop, pointing the finger at her, and be a better you version of yourself. And make everything about doing what's right for the child, pure point blank. Because women see when a man cares for his child, they know they have an honorable man. Yeah. And respect the woman that had your child. Yeah. Pure point blank. And do it out of love. And I'm not saying that it's easy for empresses to fall in line when you start doing it right, because I'm gonna just tell you, psychologically, they're gonna remember all the bad stuff you did until the kind of bad stuff leads back in the trail somewhere where they can't even see it because you've been doing right for so long. So you got to get right and moving forward and not keep looking back. So you got to keep looking forward and do it right, and do it by the grace of your child. So that you have a seed in this planet, you got to do everything right by them. It's no longer about you, but you got to get right for you to be right for the child. And nobody said it's going to be easy. So there's no cookie cutter road, no cheat code, like no video game, none of that. It's you gotta get you right, back on 2 jobs, college grad, as an example, and then keep moving forward, right? And be love to them, because she's still the mother of your child and you have a child with her. So be the change you want to see. Stop talking. We can't talk about what they do. Just be the change that they want to be, the change you want to see.
Yep. It's beautiful said, Malik. Beautiful said. And when relationship is over, as a father, And you know, because you a single father, you want to be respectful with her and raise your kid. You can do that. You can find love again, because we all be heartbroken. We get that. We get that situation. We all been there. That's why we talking from wisdom and love. And a lot of people don't get this. A lot of young men don't get this, and they go out and make bad decisions. Some young men go out and murder and do all these things. But to have this wisdom, I'll just be honest with you as we close. When I lost my brother, I wish I was connected to this. When my brother was murdered, and I was 29 when I lost my brother. My baby brother killed Jelani Goodman Bay. When I met my muftis, one day I just had to call Malik. I had a bad day. Remember Malik? I said, bro, I just got to call you, man. I'm thinking about my brothers on me. You know, so you need things. And it was hard for me.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, you got to have this. It's good to have. It's good to have accountability. It's good to have brotherhood. And like we saying, you got to come over that, because you can. But you don't want to be in the wisdom and not perfecting yourself, because it's not going to match. It's not going to match, because you got to remember you're still a real person, and we in the flesh, and we deal with people in life. No matter what we're doing, if you're going to be an entrepreneur or you're working, we deal with people in real life. So we have to fix ourselves, and our energy have to change. And so once you shift that energy, this is supposed to be perfecting you, and be like Malik said, be a good dad and respect your baby mama. That's what your science is, Noble. You just explain all here what your whole science should be about. You know what I mean? That's what your Islam should be. That's your Islam. So with that being said, anybody got anything else? But that should be your work, Noble. So whatever it is, you get that right with your child, your baby mama, understand to get back on the road. And that's your first, how can I say, that's that first I in your Islam. Because that's something that needs to be right. So with that being said, gratitude for everyone time. Everyone sent the donation. We love y'all, man. And we out of here, man. Can we get our Moorish American prayer, Malik?
Absolutely. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali, Amen, Ashe, Shalom Aleichem, Ash'ar, Islamism, peace, 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 peace. Amen, amen, amen.
Gratitude and love to everybody, man. We love y'all. And I want to send a special condolences to the young lady that lost her life in Flint, Michigan on 810 day. I didn't know her personally, but I know I probably know some of the family. I grew up in Flint, and I want to send my condolences out to the family, man. And I know how it is to lose a loved one, because I lost my brother, and it's just going to always be on you. And I just, I give my heart and my spirit to not only the family, but even the whole city, because it's just a sad time. And if I think about it every day, we should, make sure we care about each other. And I feel the same way with us as adults with this science. We got to show the young kids the example that we love each other, like we family. And I think once it trickle down like that, we can start putting a little sprinkles on the kids. Like Malik said, we got to give them a little bit at a time. Sprinkle a little bit. So I'm with you, Malik. I'm in my E40. Sprinkle me, man. I'm with you. Sprinkle me, man. I'm with you. Gratitude. I love y'all.
And you got to get on these kids' level too, man. You got to be able to communicate with them on their level. You can't be talking way over their head because they don't relate. And stop talking about what you did when you was young. Start relating to what they're going through right now in this time. That's the only way you're going to get to them.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I see it. I'm telling you. And I ain't no basketball player. I ain't none of that. We relate to the kids. We relate to the kids because we real. We've been through it. Kids don't like me because I'm all, he got the education. They like me because they like, man, that happened to you? Yeah. Your brother got murdered. How did you do it? This. I talk to the kids. Did they be under my arm? Can you be my big brother, my uncle? Yep. So we got to create some. We got to have some for the kids because we all got skills, man. But I'll leave y'all, man. Take us out of here, Malik. I love y'all and thank y'all for your time.
Gratitude, everybody. Oh, yeah. Dre Shine. Happy solar return, Noble.
Oh, yeah, Dre Shine. Yeah, happy solar return, Dre Shine. Happy solar return, Noble Dantes.
Islam, gratitude. Happy solar return, Noble Dre Shine. Peace and love.
Peace and love. We out of here.
Peace, tribe.
Take us out.
Yes, yes.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager meaning. I have yet to leave, I'm still mentality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night